Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Anak na waha ay bar Shal hawalakim la atam. Call Shabawai Baharacha wa Kakshaw Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah Ma'amat, which is truly, hey, we the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah to preach to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and Israelite foreigners. Nacham, Atam, Kaya, Hamalak, Watashamayim, Korah, repent, yea, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash, Wa Mashana, Kabadim Zukaim Nawa, Wa Malaakim, Shaw, Yasha Allah, Hazakoyim, Racha Gadawa, Wa Chasa, Wa Shalawam, Wa Barakim, Laha, Bacharim, Shaw, Ha, Gabaya, Yasha Allah, Shalawam. All right, so all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means He exists. Bahasham, and the name Yahweh Shai delivers. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which means peace. So this is the word Shami, HaYawam, which is today. HaDabar, Shal HaYawam, the word of the day is Shami. All right, give me a second. And Shami, which means to listen, goes into a multitude of things. But more specifically, well, actually, I just wanted to go into a couple of these meanings and break it down through the precepts. But continuing on, this is the Assyrian. It says Sha, Ma, Wa, I. Well, and I. All right, Sha, Ma, I. Those are the three letters, Ba'alat, Bayath, in the alphabet. All right, now I'm going to get it in the Paleo. All right. So we got the Sha, all right, which is the 21st letter, Ba'alat, Bayath, in the alphabet. All right, it says Sha. All right, and what we'll notice is the word that corresponds with the letter Sha is Shan, because the Sha looks like two front teeth. All right, so it's Sha, which has the teeth. It goes into teeth, sharp, press, and devour. All right, and that word devour also go when you devour something, you eat it up. You know, you consume it. All right, I'm gonna go over to Ma. All right, which is representative of water, chaos, blood, and mighty. When you look at Ma, it looks like a wave. All right. So then we look at I, which is Ayan. It says I, watch, vision, serve, experience, because what we notice is each letter, Ba, Alat, Bayath, or Baha, Alat, Bayath in the alphabet. All right, what we'll notice is that they correspond with a different meaning and also a different number, Masapar, number. All right. So again, in these particular letters, you have Shah, you have Ma, and you have I. All right. So I just want to get the definition of Shemai, because that's how you say listen, Ba'ai Barith, or Bahalashwan Kodash, in the Holy Tongue. All right, so we got Shah. Again, that's representative of to eat. All right, but in Hebrew, it would be Akal, as well as to consume. All right, and as well as devour. Both of those words, consume and devour, they go into Akal. All right. Then we got Ma. Okay, this is representative of water, blood, chaos. What else was in there? It says mighty. All right, then we got Ayan, which is that I. That's where English gets the letter I from Ayan. All right. But continuing on, We're at eye. All right, so you got your eye to watch, and also vision. All right, and we also have experience. Okay, but with these words, Shemai, again, it has a multitude of meanings. But with these particular words, we have Shah going into Devour. I'll just put consume because consume is synonymous with Devour. Okay, then we have a Ma that goes into water. All right, then we have an I. That's to serve. So the word Shemai goes into those three. So I'm just try to take these off real quick. All right, so we left with these. From the top, Shah, Ma, I. Consume, water, serve. All right, so through the spirit, what do these go into? If we was to write it in English, it would be consume, water, then serve. All right. So I'm gonna get that definition for consume. Because going into this definition, it says Shemai, to hear, listen to, obey, hear, perceive by the ear, have power to hear. It says to hear with attention or interest, listen to. It says listen, give heed, to consent, agree, grant request. All right, to listen to, yield to. All right, obey, be obedient. Because when you go into Shemai, you know, it's pretty much you hear something, all right, and you show that you understand it because you actually go and do it. It's to hear with obedience. That's what Shemai goes into. I got it written down right here. It says Shemai, to hear, to listen to, obey, be obedient, to listen to, yield to, obedience, hear and do. You know? So let's actually go into these words. So we have common definition. We have consume. It says eat, drink, or ingest. More specifically, going into eating, but it can also be applied to drinking or ingest. It says people consume a good deal of sugar in drinks. All right. Eat up, devour, ingest, swallow. It says to take, to sip, you know, going into to drinking. All right. Now let's also get that word for to serve, because that word ayan goes into serving as well. It says perform duties or services for another person or an organization, be in the service of. It says obey, be of use to, help, giving a helping hand, to do something for, to work on. All right. So pretty much it says be of service, to obey. All right. Going into obeying. All right. You hear. All right. You'll consume it. All right. And when I'm saying it, I'm talking about the scriptures. All right. Because that's chiefly what it goes into. You hear the scriptures. You consume it spiritually. All right. Those living waters. And then you go out and you carry it out. All right, so let's get some precepts going into the word Shemai, because again, Shemai goes into listening, and then you give heed and you obey. Shemai by Baryeth is listening, all right, in English. So let's get some precepts. This is and also if you look at the chart, pretty much as I previously stated, we can see that each word corresponds with like a different character. And each character, it can it looks like something, you know, because we're a visual people. All right, so if we look at this right here, we got the eye. The eye looks like a ox's head if you turn it sideways. If you looked at la at the bottom right, if you turn it upside down, it's a staff. All right, and that staff represents authority. All right, and another one, we got pa. That looks like a mouth, a Pac-Man head. All right, and then we go to ya, like yad for hand, kaya hand. and Kaya goes into 4. All right, so for hand. So Yah, all right, if you looked at it, that looks like an arm and a hand, like if you was to pinch something with your hand, because Yah, when you got it, by itself or like in a word, it can go into like working with your hands. That's why when you go down here, it says arm and hand, work or deeds, because pretty much it looks like a hand. And you go to Ka. If you turn over your hand, Ka is representative of Kop, which is the palm of your hand. And you turn your hand over, and you got the lines in your hand, a little just like the letter Ka. All right, but continuing on, it's a lot. Yeah, continuing on. Let's get Ezekiel, Yahazak Allah, chapter 37. Chapter 37 and verse 16. It reads, "Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Yahweh, and the children of Yasha his companions, then take another stick and write upon it for Yahwasap, Kaya Yahwasap, the stick of a Pariyam, Kaya all the house of Yasha his companions, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not shew us what thou meanest by these?" All right, so pretty much that's going into the 12 tribes chart. All right, but the point that I want to get was that we're a visual people. You see, so when we go into HaDabar, the alphabet, all right, each different letter, or some of the letters we can see it has like a visual representation. Like for instance, like I, actually like an eyeball. You go into Ka, again, it's it shows the palm of the hand. All right, you go into Yah, it looks like the hand. You go into Ma, it looks like water. All right, you go into Pa, it looks like a mouth. You see, it's simple. All right, so moving on, or the visuals make it simple. All right, so moving on, let's get Deuteronomy Devour chapter 32 and verse 2. All right, because HaYawam goes into water, and you have Ma and Shami. All right, that's the second letter in the word Shami. All right, so this is Deuteronomy Devour chapter 32 and verse 2. It says, verse 1: Give ear, O heavens, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. It says, my doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. All right, going into the scriptures. All right, so that water, all right, Ma goes into regular water, but it can be applied to the spiritual water, who is Hamashiach Yahweh, the scriptures. All right, so continuing on, let's get Romans chapter 10 and verse 17, because how would you listen to the words? How would you receive the words? Let's get Romans 10 and verse 17. It reads, so then faith, all right, and that word faith goes into belief. All right, it says, so then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. All right, so how are you able to listen? How are you able to, when you go into the actual buildup of the word Shemai, that first letter is Shah, all right, which means to consume. How are you able to consume it up? All right, I'm gonna go to that real fast. Let's get this. Let's get our call, which it says to eat, devour. It says burn up, feed. Salat. It says burn up, feed, consume. It says consume, destroy inanimate subjects. Salat. It says to be eaten by men, to be devoured, consumed, be wasted, destroyed, to cause to eat, feed with, to cause to devour, to feed, cause to eat. Then it says consume. It says a primitive root to eat, literally or figuratively at all, burn up, consume, devour, dine, eat, feed freely, and wise plenty lay meat quite. I'm going to go into this. It says to number 5. It says to chamash ba'ebarith, to diminish, to lessen, to take from. So pretty much you taking from the true living waters. You taking from the scriptures. You see, you consuming it up. Because what did the Lord say in Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, and we'll get that out of HaDabar. I'm gonna get that real fast. This is Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Yasha'Allah, Bayath Shal Yasha'Allah, house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll, and he said unto me, son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as sweet as honey for sweetness. All right, so that's how the true waters, all right, is consumed. All right, by hearing it first. All right, it comes by hearing it. All right, and let me go back. Romans chapter 10 and verse 17. It says, so then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. All right, so you consume it spiritually. All right, that's why Shah, it look like the 2 front teeth, because you got to consume it spiritually. All right, now let's go to Yakanah, also John chapter 4 and verse 14. It reads, but whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. All right, and it was referring to the scriptures. All right, who is Hamashiach? He was the embodiment. He is the embodiment of the scriptures. Let's get another one. This is John chapter 6 and verse 35. It reads, and Yahushua said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. All right, and again, that word believeth, or that word faith goes back to a belief. All right, so it comes by hearing, and then you got to consume it. You got to digest it spiritually. All right, it says, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. All right, because he got the true living water. All right, let's get Romans chapter 2 and verse 13. It reads, it says, for not the hearers of the law are just before the Most High, but the doers of the law shall be justified. All right, so pretty much the elect is gonna have the faith to push forth works. All right, the faith in Hamashiach Yahushua, who is the embodiment of the scriptures. All right, and then they're gonna have the works to push forth, because again, going into HaDabar, Shami, the word Shami, all right, it means to hear, to listen, and give heed to. All right, and let's actually go back to that. Let's go to that. It says Shami. It says to grant requests. All right, how do you grant the request? Going back to Romans 10 and 17, you got to hear it first. All right, and in order to grant it, you got to hear it, and then you got to go do it. That's essentially what Shami goes into. You listen to it, and then you do it. All right, that's why it says to hear with attention or interest. It says to obey, be obedient, because you hear what you got to do, and then you go and do it. All right, so continuing on, let's go back to Romans chapter 2 and verse 13. It says Shana, which is again, or to repeat, it says, for not the hearers of the law are just before the Most High. Those that, Matthew chapter 11, and verse 16 on down, the hearers of the word, the ones that didn't, that heard the word, always, it sounds nice, they can hear it, but they're not perceiving it in the spirit, and not actually going and doing it. All right. It says, for not the hearers of the law are just before the Most High. All right, but the doers of the law shall be justified, because that faith, because they ate the whole roll, all right, it pushed forth those works, which that word, that ayan, HaDabar, HaDabar, Shami, in the word Shami, Barith, which is to listen. All right, it pushed them forth to actually go into serve. Ayan goes into serve. All right, and which we'll go back to that HaDabar through the Spirit. All right. It says, but the doers of the law shall be justified. The elect is going to be justified because they're going to have the works coinciding with their faith. All right, let's get another one. This is James chapter 2 and verse 17. It says, even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead being alone. Yet a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Shew me thy faith without thy works, and I will shew thee my faith by my works. It says, thou believest that there is one power, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. It says, but wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? All right, so you got to have the faith and you got to have the works. All right, which essentially is going to be coinciding with Shemai, to listen, you know. It's a lot. So pretty much that faith is going to be shown through your works, you know, through that listening. All right, because Shemai, all right, again, it's to hear and then to do. You know, it's not just hearing. All right, because you're gonna have those works. All right, your faith is going to be shown. How well you listen is going to be shown through your works. All right, so continuing on, it says, but wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered up Isaac, Yatazachak, by Barith? Isaac is Yatazachak in Hebrew, his son upon the altar. Seest thou how faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect? All right, so it was shown his faith was shown through his works. All right, and it also showed that he listened. All right, it says, and by works was faith made perfect, and the scripture was fulfilled with which saith, Abraham believed the Most High, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of the Most High. Yea, see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. You know, so it's not just going to be off your belief. You know, your faith is going to push you to have works with it as well. All right, and your faith, how well you believe. All right, again, the elect is going to have the faith and the works, you see, but it's going to be shown in their works that they actually listen. All right, because again, listening goes into obedience to what was heard or what was said. You know, it says, and not by faith only. Likewise, also was not Rahab the harlot justified by works when she had received the messengers and had sent them out another way. For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. You see, so you can't just be all you believe. You know, you got to actually have works. All right, and your works is going to show that you listened. All right, you listened and you had faith because you did what was spoken and what was written. All right, you actually listened. All right, Shemai. All right, let's get one more. This is James chapter 1 and verse 22. It says, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. All right, so you want to be a doer of the word. All right, because if you're a doer of the word, you see, that's going to be shown. That shows that you have faith. All right, and it's going to show that you listen to what was said. You know, because the Lord is going to reward those that listen to his word. All right, those that believe on the scriptures and have the works to coincide with that. All right, so again, let's go back to that word, Shemai. All right, I'm going to get these letters again. It says Shan, which is Shah, all right, your two front teeth, to devour, consume, eat up, spend up, all right. We got Ma, water, chaos, blood, mighty, all right, and this particular word is going into water, all right, and again, that first one was devour, all right, and then we got I. It says I, watch, vision, serve, experience, all right, going into serve, because once you're presented with the scriptures, once the elect is presented with the scriptures, they're going to listen. All right, they're going to consume the true living water, which is my All right, and they're going to serve, which goes into doing. All right, they're gonna listen. They're going to consume the true living waters. All right, and after that, they're gonna go out and do what the scripture says to do. All right, which shows true listening. All right, now let's go back and let's get the definition one more time. It says, listen. Shemai, to hear, listen, obey. To hear, perceive by ear. It says to hear with attention or interest. It says to listen, give heed. It says listen, yield to. When you yield to something, you're yielding to what's being said, what's being spoken about. It says yield. To surrender or relinquish to the physical control of another, hand over possession. It says to give oneself up to an inclination. It says surrender, submit oneself. So you submitting yourself to the power of the Lord. It says to surrender, to relinquish to the physical control of another, hand over possession. So taking the low, being humble. You see? So going back, and when you yield to it, you're submitting to the will of the Lord. All right, showing that you're actually doing and you understood what you consume spiritually in the scriptures. All right, Shemai, to listen. All right. So HaDabar to Zaza by Naya Apollo was what, that was a beautiful edification through the spirit. Wa, which is and. HaDabar to Za, a thumb. Yash, I rob to Wab. Lord's will, you all have a good evening. Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Shana, which is again or to repeat. HaDabar Shal HaYawam. Shemai, which is to listen. The word of the day was listen. Bahalashwan Kodash in the holy tongue. Hey, Lord's will, that was edifying. Hey, Shalom.